is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. I want to welcome you to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. And today, I have Master Jesus' energy with me present. The discussion will be on enlightenment. Enlightenment, not enlightenment, enlightenment. And one of the fundamental things he talks about is the concept of love as the foundation for what you call enlightenment. That love is the foundation for what you call enlightenment. He says he's very disappointed with how often that word love is used, when those that use it often have no comprehension of its meaning, its value, nor its implications in terms of its relationship to all else that is from the perspective of that individual. The idea and understandings of love go far beyond the littleness that you assign to it of it being a pleasure of your senses or simply for something of personal satisfaction. The conception of enlightenment and love is inclusive of all that is. And it's really interesting, the authority that he's coming through on this today is pretty intense. Again, from an ego perspective, as William, I would almost interpret it. I would, from a finite perspective, would interpret his authority. No, I would misinterpret his authority as anger from the perspective that he's coming from today, but it's not. It's coming from a very deep and profound understanding of what truth actually is as an expression that is integrated and not separate from what you are as a being. And that's pretty amazing. So love, he says, enlightenment, being in the light, enlightenment, comes from the conception that you are. You know that you are, and you understand your immediate and instant, ever-present relationship with all things that exist, and that your thoughts, your words, your actions come from this awareness that no matter what you think or say or do, you do it for everyone, to everyone, including yourself. You can neither separate yourself from yourself, nor can you separate yourself or the effects of that from anyone or anything else. There is a great jubilation in those that recognize the relationship that love bears as an interconnecting vibrational frequency between all things, equally in measure. And that in this physical realm, you will find that that principle is equally true from the perspective of that consciousness, from the perspective of the separateness that you think that you have from your source. This appears to be untrue, that there is inequality, that there is one is more and one is less. And this is clearly not the truth from the perspective of love, for all things are inclusive in love. Even the blade of grass is held in equal regard as the saint. All are held in equal regard. All are held, whether it is a blade of grass or a newborn babe, or it is a star, or it is a dimension, all from the perspective of enlightenment, from I am, from love, all is in equal measure to the other, from the perspective of that awareness, which is natural and inherent in each and every existing molecule of creation, and in each and every non-visible realm of consciousness. The understanding that love did not need to be brought here was clear and remains clear to me and many others. For love already exists here and needs only to be recognized not as a word, but as an expression of being mindful that all parts of itself work together and in harmony. The chaos and disharmony that you are witnessing on this planet today is a clear distinction between that which is not love, what we like to call fearfulness, and that which is love. Your confusion and your misunderstanding of what is right and what is wrong, what is true and what is false, comes because you have lost your connection to that which is what you are within you. You have gotten so lost in the definitions that the world has given you about yourself that you have forgotten yourself. You have lost yourself, and you have to lose yourself to find yourself, to return to that place of being that you inherently and innately exist in, whether you are consciously aware of that fact or not. My goal here today is very simple: to remind you that not in this world will you find the love you seek, but in your own heart, where the world is cast off, that you may bring your love, your light to this world, which is what you came and did initially at the process of what you call birthing, where you brought the full force of your light into this world, each and every one of you. That light has never, ever gone out, nor can it ever go out. That light is eternal. That light that you are is eternal. The identity that you exist in now is finite. And your confusion between that which is eternal and that which is finite has suspended or put in abeyance your capacity to effectively judge information that this world gives you, and impairs your ability to articulate that which you are as a natural expression and extension of love. And so, my goal here is to remind you of the fundamental truths, and your goal ought to be to recall, to remember, to understand and comprehend what love is as what you are. To recognize what you are is enlightenment. To recognize, to experience, to feel, to be what you are is enlightenment. You're in the light as you were meant to be. Enlightenment. In the light as you were meant to be. And this world, in its own way, is enlightenment. It is the deviation of man from the very nature of his source that has cast a shadow of uncertainty over your creation. But from the perspective of love, there is no uncertainty at all. It is important you understand how free you really are and have always been, that you have sought to find liberation where none was required to be sought. You have tried to find your freedom in this world, but you were born in freedom. Love is freedom. Enlightenment is freedom. And you may ask, well, how then may I find happiness in this world where there is so much confusion? You do not find it in this world. It is within you to articulate that quality of consciousness, or you may defer the responsibility for seeking that which is yours to seek, to try and find it at somebody else's suggestion, to get another conception of yourself than the one that you already possessed when you came in, love. The only understanding of your being is love. From that perspective, what you will say and what you will do is significantly different than what you have been taught to think you should say or do in order to be that expression of love which you already are. Many of you seeking to become something that you already are. And the love that you are as an individual is unique and distinct in its expression, but universal and encompassing in its nature. And from that perspective, as an individual, you would always know, from the perspective of what you are, you will always know what it is that you do and be and think as love. It is evident because one expression of love versus an expression of fear expands or diminishes your sense of well-being. Many of you are caught up in the madness of ideas that do not sustain or support who you are, and you feel you want to escape this world. You want to escape this world because it cannot offer you what you already possess, and it never can. But to recognize, to put aside your suffering thoughts, your suffering emotions, and to recognize and remember that love is your true nature. Love is your true nature. It is your true nature. To recognize that, to understand that, to begin to live as that, you will not need to seek anything outside of yourself to validate the wonder and glory of that creative intelligence that gave birth and rise to your being in this world in the first place. When I was asked to come and share life and to share it more abundantly, that was to reveal the self-evident truth of what you are, that you might know it, not that you would adore me to know it, but that you would know it within yourself, that that which I am, you are also. That which I am, you are also. The distinction is an area of perception, surrendering everything you believe that is so true and dear to your heart that causes you suffering, to surrender that for the understanding that you are an extension of love. And that love's extension, love's expression is all-encompassing and respectful. All-encompassing and respectful. Thank you. There is a time right now. It is not tomorrow. It was not before. There are no missed opportunities. If you are in the moment, understand there are no missed opportunities if you are in the moment. The opportunity is not in this world. The opportunity is what you have brought to give to this world. You came here to offer, to give the world an opportunity to receive a slightly different expression of a limitless love. And if you take but a moment to consider that love is what you are, and you understand that that is what I represented, will continue to represent eternally. Eternally. And not in one form or another, but in all forms. The statement, I am the way and the truth, is the recognition that you are not bound by a limited conception of being. I am is not the name of that body. I am is the expression that moves through it, the light, the life, the enlightenment that moves through that form in which you find yourself. When you find that I am, that you are, that is independent and distinct from the nature of what you were conditioned to believe you are supposed to be, then you will begin to find freedom. That most of the thoughts and information that you have acquired are false and do not accurately reflect the incredible and exquisite and splendid beauty of what you are as an extension of limitless creation. To understand this, when you can recognize and remember the I am that is you, that is what I am. To recognize this, you begin to move back into that place of articulating your natural expression of love. Thank you. Question from Ruth. Could you please ask Master Jesus, how could I unplug from the spirit of my feeling of ridiculing gossip by others? Stop plugging into it. It is very simple. You must understand this, that as long as you choose to consider it, you are plugging into it. Let them have their own considerations, and you choose your own considerations, but you cannot fault them for your considering of them. It is important you understand to withdraw your attention from that does not reflect and represent the nature of what you are. Have pity on those. Have pity on those that believe that they are so small, for they are the ones that reveal themselves to you. They do not reveal you to yourself. None can do that unless they see the light in you as they are the light in themselves. As I can see the light in you, as I can know the wonder of what you are, this recognition of who I am liberates you from the judgment of others, for you are not who they think you are. Do not plug into that anymore. Yeah, it's pretty good. Thank you, Ruth. Good morning, everyone. Yes, Animation's asking for a message. He's just saying, remember, he's placing his two hands over his heart. He's placing his two hands over his heart, and he's saying, remember love. Wow. There's a double meaning in what he's saying here. He's saying, remember love, but remember love. He endears you. He recognizes, remember love. He recognizes you as himself, as he does with all of us. He really recognizes himself as all of us. Not the one you think, but the one that you are. Wow, thank you so much. Any message for Bethany Brown? Yeah. Pursue love above. Yeah. Pursue love above all other things. Pursue love within. If you understood but a slight amount of that light that shines into you, if you could see with your own eye that light that is within you, the coming days will be much more delightful for you will not be pursuing to acquire. You will be on a process of aspiration as opposed to acquisition. So many of you struggle with your needs being more important than what you are here to offer. You have forgotten in your need, you have forgotten what you are here to give. And there are those who have learned how to, those who have learned how to take advantage of your forgetting. They have taken advantage of your need. What do you mean by that? Simply, I mean that those of you that think that you need from this world as much as you need from this world, that you don't need as much from this world, that many of you now have those that furnish you with a very limited range of what you actually need. They acquire great wealth and control and power over you as you seek to find fulfillment from outside of yourself. You have been so horribly distracted by this world that you have forgotten the gift that you came here to offer it. So now you try to get rather than try to give. It has been turned around. This did not happen overnight. This happened over many, many centuries of your time. Question from Diane. What can Jesus tell us about his holy fire? Can we use it for transmutation? Thank you. He says, open your heart. Open your heart and give your attention to the flame. Feed the flame within you. Many of you are still trying to overcome this perpetual misguidance of seeking to find fulfillment from this world rather than fanning the flames of your own beauty and wonder and allowing that to be a light that you offer the world. For all of you are that. You are an offering to this world of love. You are an offering to this world of love. That's what you are. If you wish to fan the flames of divinity within yourself, then seek this within yourself. Know and align yourself to this truth that love is what you are. It is not an acquisition of things or thoughts. It's a recognition of what you are as a being. And what greater flame would you ever want to be than what you are? There is nothing greater than this, being what you are. Question from Rosemary. Any advice for me on my search for employment? Thank you. First words he's saying to tell her to stop fearing. You have to stop having any fear. Release your fear. Release your fear. So many of you cling to your fear as if it is a lifeboat and it is a rock and it is not a rock to stand on. Relinquish your fear. Relinquish it. You have no need for this. The only thing you have need for is the light that is within you. That is what you are. Relinquish your fear around this and all things. Relinquish your fear around this and all things. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you for that super chat, Edgar. Really appreciate it. What is Jesus's perspective on shamanism and the quantum realm? Thank you, William. I love you all. He says, I do not perceive these differentiations as you do. The practice of shining your light, your love, of offering awareness of what is evidently true about anyone is a noble act. It's a noble act of love to be that which points the direction for the other to look within. Shamanism is not merely the process of articulating mechanisms out here. Shamanism, as you have labeled it, is simply understanding the intimate relation between each individual and the very source that we are all connected to. And any function, whether you call it shamanism or healing or divination, any practice that seeks to guide one back to the truth of their own being is a noble expression of the divine. That which would detract you from that truth is that of what we would label in language the darkness. That which takes you further from being that which you already are and articulating that more fully as a creative expression. He says he doesn't really have anything to say about the quantum realm. There's nothing really to say about the quantum realm other than it would be difficult for most of you to comprehend the meaning of that word in its truest sense. the quantum goes beyond what you understand in terms of your conventional perceptions of law, in terms of physics, in terms of matter, in terms of time and space. You seek to understand that which does not require a frame of reference of what you already know, but requires a frame of reference of what you do not know. And in order to understand that frame of reference of what you do not know, you must surrender what you know. And if you did that, you would discover who you are again. For you are not a known, you are an unknown, limitless potential. Wow, cool, I like that. Thank you for that, Edgar, really appreciate it. Question from Sunny. Can Master Jesus advise me on what healing I have to give the soul family member that I have met recently? Again, you speak in terms of what you would have to give to them. The process of healing is simply their own recognition of a self-evident truth of who they are. To remind anybody to the extent that they remember, not because you have said some flourishing words or done some act that makes them feel good, but that they recognize the value of their own being, that their light, that their consciousness is equal to all else, that the love that they are is equal to all else. Give this, and they shall find their freedom, and you will find yours as well. For the one that bears the gift, knowing what they offer, and the one who receives the gift, knowing what they've received, shall be as one in that light. Enlightenment. Cool, thank you so much. Question from Kyle. I'm sorry, Master Jesus is laughing. Kyle is asking, hey William, hope all is well. I was wondering if there were any messages from any guides of mine to pay attention to. He's giggling because if you've been paying attention, then you have been listening. And if you've been listening, then you would not need to ask that question. So the answer you're seeking is very simple. To remember what you are. Remember what you are. Not what you think, but remember what you are. Many of you try to think about what you are, but you cannot think about what you are because then you separate yourself from it. Remember what you are. Feel it. Be it. Love. Not the word, not what people have told you, but a vibration. A vibration. What you are as a vibration. And I can assure you that there is no suffering in that vibration. All thoughts and feelings of suffering are a lie. All thoughts and feelings of suffering are a lie. And if you can articulate the distinction that you as awareness have from your thoughts of suffering, your feelings of suffering, when you can recognize what you are as a distinct awareness from those, you'll begin to remember and feel what you are. Suffering is unnecessary, especially when you realize that it's not who you are. You will not suffer. Thank you so much. Question from Alia. What if I have lost all desire to be in this life? He's saying if you think you have lost desire to be in this life, it is because you have forgotten the life and the light that you are. You are seeking again to find fulfillment, to find recognition of who you are from this world. You cannot. For the world, very few in this world can recognize who you are. But you may do so, and in doing so, you liberate yourself from all suffering. If you know as I do that you are love, that you are my kin, if you knew this, if you understood this, you would never have these thoughts, these beliefs, or these feelings that would diminish the truth of who you are. And they do. But you are not, in any sense of the word, less than love. Wow. Thank you so much. Sonny's asking, I can't seem to be able to access the website to book the courses. Is it just me? No, the website is up. It was all updated yesterday. For those who are looking, we are just finishing we're just beginning our last Mediumship 103 course for this year. If you have not taken the Mediumship 101 or 102 course, you'll have to wait until late August when we start our Mediumship 101 course again. For those of you that are registering for the 103 that were just in the 102 or in the 101 or in previous students, you can use the 103 registration link on my website there. The course 103 begins tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the orientation. This is a 3-week intensive program to help you get back to the truth of who you are. But no, Sonny, the website's up and running, williammichaelforbes.com/courses, if you want to go directly to that page. Let's see here. Question from George Edwards. I'm brand new here, so happy to find you. How can I overcome my brain damage that gives me a lot of problems? Wow, there's just this, George, there's this wave of love going out to you now to remind you, to impact the beauty of who you are. You are not damaged in any sense of the word. You must understand to move into the awareness of what you are, to not define yourself by flesh, but to define yourself by spirit, by what you are as love. Allow me to offer my light that you may see yours. I'm sorry, I'm just asking Master Jesus, is there something that we can practically give you? He says there's a million things that can be done from a third dimensional perspective. But he's just transmitting light to you right now, George. He wants you to place your right hand over the part of the brain where there is supposed damage. He wants you to place your right hand over that part of the brain where there is supposed damage. And he says he wants you to put yourself into the space where your energy from your hand and the structure of your brain meet, to be there and to offer your love and your grace to that body, as he will also. Love and grace, to have no judgment of this any further, to offer it only love and grace, to feel what love and grace does in you as you extend it to that physical form that you utilize while in this earthly dimension. Know that the light of your being transcends all conditions of matter. The light of your being transcends all conditions of matter. Love, as you are, organizes conditions of biology differently than fear. Relinquish your fear. Do not pick it up again. Stay in gratitude and love for this, and that body will receive your love and your light, and it will begin to change. Pay close attention to what is happening there now. That light that is in who I am is that light that you are also. That light that is who I am is that light that is who you are also. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Wow, George. Hope you're receiving that the way I'm feeling it being delivered. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, George. Really glad to have you here, and so grateful that you are stepping into this light for yourself. A lot of people don't realize, when they brought these courses and classes to us, people get healed all the time. And it's not something that I do. It's just something that happens as a result of when you begin to realize what you are as a vibrational consciousness that can organize matter with your thoughts. Then what you think and what you believe about that body in which you find yourself affects it. Even if a trauma has happened to the body, the way you respond and interact with the body after the trauma can determine subsequent changes in the biology, just with your awareness, how you feel about it, what you think about it. How many people stub their toe and they get angry because they stubbed their toe. Now they send anger to that part of the body. It's really simple, right? Yeah, I know. Master Jesus says, it's ask and you shall receive. What you think, so it shall be, right? Think nothing but love for that body in which you find yourself, dear one. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, George. Hi, Janine. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Animation. Wonderful. Love and light to everybody. Vertical Connection is asking, my intent is to rekindle the relationship with my mother. Will she finally engage in it? He's laughing. He can say, why would you rekindle a fire that has never gone out? Why have you ever thought or considered that the fire was ever out? Love never goes out. You may turn yourself away from it, in which case you will find yourself looking into darkness. But if you turn your light towards the flame, love is always there. Love in its fullness is always present. It is whether or not you choose to acknowledge that it is what you are. Wow. That's really cool. Thank you. Question from Rudy. Would taking the 103 be something I should do at this time? I'm just hearing, I'll say giggling, like playful giggling. This is something that if you are asking it, you have already answered this for yourself. Many of you find yourselves basing your inquiries into many things with uncertainty. And of course, if you are approaching any situation with the possibility that you are uncertain, there will only be one answer or one conclusion that you can come to. But if you approach anything with the perspective of your certainty that it will benefit you, then another outcome will unfold. The goal of all things in your life should be to remind you that you are love. The goal in all things that you think or say or do or interact with, all things are either an extension of your love or receiving it and recognition of it. Can you not recognize that love in you that is in all things? When you do this, you will find enlightenment. You will find freedom when you recognize that the love that is you is everywhere. And when you see that, you are free. You have no need to pursue. You have no need to pursue. Thank you, Rudy. Question from High Vibe Life. I love this. High Vibe Life. My 7-year-old grandson can see spirits and portals, but his parents don't believe him. What can I do to help him with his abilities? I don't want him to turn it off. Simply offer him the simple understanding. There's a very simple understanding that not all see as he sees, not all hear as he hears. He must learn to understand that there are those that he cannot share his truths with at this time, for they still have sway and influence over him. He is dependent upon them. And in that role, many of you feel in that process of dependence that you have an obligatory position where you must surrender certain things in exchange for certain things. While this is not true, in the case of this one, where this one is so young, their recognition of their own awareness must take precedence over the opinions of those that would deny it. but he must not speak of these things except to those who understand them also. And if you are one of those individuals, then he is very blessed. And there are many others in this world that are up and coming. There is a concerted effort on this planet to stop many of you from awakening. There is a concerted effort to stop many of you from awakening. This has been ongoing for some time now. The foods that you eat, the air that you breathe, there are many things that have been fabricated by those that choose control and power over those that choose love, to keep many diminished, to keep them distracted from what they are, from what they came here to do and be. Wow. Thank you. Question from Janine. Does Master Jesus have a message for me regarding my progress with the 102? Thank you, William. I guess this is as close to a cheer as he can. I mean, he's just putting his hands up like this and bowing his head. And that's about, yeah. He says there are times for dance. There are times for dance and celebration, but I offer this to you, that you understand this, that you are in this now. You are in that process of surrendering that old self. But yeah, it's cool. The feeling I'm getting from him with that, like the emotion that I'm getting from him, with if that's what you want to call it, from him, is like a joy. Is just like an honoring joy. I honor you. Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Janine. Rainbow made a statement here. He wants me to. The statement the Rainbow of Boxes made: love is all you need. Love is all you are. He wants you to understand that love is what you are. The misconception that your need is fulfilled from this world is erroneous. Your need is already fulfilled by the very life that you are. The very life that you are, which is love. Cool. Thank you so much. Yes, I understand. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, this is Master Jesus coming today was very exciting. I mean, they giggle at us a lot because they see that we are in the illusion of suffering because we're so disconnected from what we are. We've gotten so entrapped. And I'm equally guilty of that. I spent most of my life believing I'm just a physical body mind, and that the personality I had was who I am. And it's not. This is strictly an instrument that I have been given so that I can express the being that I am through. When you start to remember what you are, you're not the thoughts in your head. You're not the emotions that those thoughts create. That's not who you are. Who you are is an awareness of limitless potentials and capability, able to articulate changes in mind and body that are not, yes, he's saying that are not miraculous. The changes in mind and body that you can make are natural effects of a vibrational state of your being that you are at all times. A vibration of your being is love. And if that is articulated without question, then the outcome in matter is wholeness, inevitably. All extensions of love are complete. All actions of love are divine. It is very simple that what you are will affect great change over that mind and body versus allowing the influence of that mind and body to affect and cover your eyes from seeing. Your personalities, for many of you, have become like a hood over your all-seeing eye. Yes, it has. This personality, for many of you, has become like a hood over your all-seeing eye. You must relinquish that hood. You are not your thoughts. You are not that body. You are a divine light, extended by the same hand that holds me also. We are all on the same hand, offered to life, as a gift of love's expression. Wow, thank you. That's beautiful. Question from Bethany. There's a particular person that I have feelings for, and sometimes it gets to the point of like heartache and sadness. Why? Why does it hurt so much? Because there's a disconnection from love. If you are listening carefully to what is being said here, if you are separate from love, there will be suffering. Any separation of love causes suffering. The extensions of love alleviate all suffering. Extensions of love alleviate all suffering. Not some, all suffering. Love alleviates all suffering. Please, all suffering is alleviated by love. If there is suffering, there is no love. There is suffering, for love does not suffer. Wow. Oh, thank you for that super chat, Drusilla. Really appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Lunch on you. Thank you so much. Got time enough for 2 more questions. Question from Daniela. I met an enlightened person who appeared to me for 1 year every evening before closing my eyes. Was this spiritual love? He's saying this they would not come and go. Love does not come and go. Love is eternal. Love does not come and then go. The form of it may change, but its consistency in being is universal. It is diminished nowhere, nor is it greater. It is equal at all points of its expression. Although the appearance of it might give you the illusion that somehow or somewhere it may appear less or more, it is all equal. This specific one that you speak of is an aspect that you need to unite with in consciousness, to recognize that the form does not separate the relationship. The love that you felt still exists. The entrapment that so many of you get caught into, believing that the external reality of something is greater than the truth of it. That the external reality of something is greater than the truth of it. What greater truth is there than love? What greater truth is there than love? Which unites regardless of appearance. Can you not see it on this beautiful world of yours itself? How many diverse and different things exist in this life, in this one minute expression of love. Many, many expressions coexist because love does not separate. It unifies, it heals, it empowers, it liberates, it inspires, it plays, it dances, it sings. Love is wondrous. It is what you are. So if you find yourself in suffering, you simply need to remind yourself, realign your awareness to love, and rest yourself in that. Rest yourself in that love, and all will be healed and corrected. If you rest yourself in love, be that which you are. Do not let the world, the mind, the body detract you from the awareness of what you are. If you could cast away all your doubts and all your fears, if you could cast them away even now, to cast your fears and your doubts away, to cast away anticipation, to be in this moment free of all concern, but knowing that all you need is fulfilled, you will have a deeper understanding and awareness of what you are. You may do this. You may cast your thoughts. You may cast your emotions aside and be what you are, and let that replace that which you are not. So many of you try to acquire your wisdom and knowledge from your television sets and your books and your radios and your TV, and all is available to you within you. The answer to every question will not be found in what the world has given you. The answer to every question will be found not in what the world has given you. It will be found within you. It will be found within you. Be patient. Oh, thank you, brother. Well, well, I guess that I'm looking down at what your comment here is, Bethany, and I guess that last little bit that Master Jesus said really applies to you. Let your thoughts of loss or lack or limitation, let those thoughts go. Let them go. Why do you hold on to your suffering? You know, I did that for years, right? And when I finally became conscious of Master Jesus and all these other beings that are around us, our guides, our angels, these multidimensional beings that are here to offer us information and understanding about who we are. Information and understanding about who you are, so you can be free to be what you came here to be. You know, but this world has made us all into something that we are not. And you have to learn to remember who you are. And he's telling me to correct that. He's saying you don't have to remember who you are. You have to forget who you've been taught to be. Forget who you've been taught to be, and you will remember who you are. For without all the thoughts and disturbances in your mind, would you not find peace? And peace is the bedmate of love. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, everybody, I want to thank you guys for using the super chats today. Really appreciate the contributions. Other ways you can support this work is through my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And you become a Patreon and support the work that way. I also want to remind my Patreons today that we have our 7th at 7 this week. So on the 7th day of each month at 7 p.m., we do a live event with all my patrons on Zoom so that they get a chance to connect to their guides and angels in that format. Also, I do a monthly drawing for a free reading. I've sent the message out to the winner of this month's reading. They should be responding back shortly. Anyway, I'm so grateful that you guys have showed up today. There is so much happening right now on this planet, and at the same time, so little. Do not get trapped. I said, well, he wants me to say this. Do not get trapped in the dressings of this world when all of the wondrous raiment that you could ever wear and be adorned in is in what you are. The colors and expressions of love through you, do not let them be diminished by this world. Do not let your love be diminished by this world. Wow, thank you so much. I want to thank all of you for showing up today. I want to wish you all much love, much joy. I want to thank Master Jesus for being present with me. And I don't know who there was somebody else that was back here who said something to somebody, but I want to thank them as well. And I want to thank all of you again for your time, your patience, your focus, your energy. I want to wish you much love, and I look forward to seeing you on Supernatural Saturday tomorrow for the meditation portion of our program, and on Supernatural Saturday, and we'll see you then. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. Bye for now.